Hey everybody, welcome to Feel Good Friday. How are you? You guys, it's the first Feel Good Friday of 2024. That's pretty exciting, right? That's pretty exciting. I can't believe 2024 is already here. I feel like 2023 just kind of flew by. It was just kind of one of those things that just happened. We went to sleep and we woke up and it was 2024, right? Do you ever feel like that? I feel like the older I get, the faster the years go by. I'm not sure I like that. Does anybody have a slow down button that I don't know about? Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Mary. Hi, Anita. Hi, Maria. How are you? It is so good to see everybody. Facebook's making their way in as well. Hi, everybody. So I know we saw each other on Tuesday, but some people only join us for our Feel Good Friday show. So I just want to say hello to all of you who I didn't see on Tuesday. It is so good to see you. It's been a while. And I'm looking forward to what the new year is going to bring. I hope that your new year has started out on a good foot, right? It doesn't help if you start out on a bad foot. I got to tell you, a friend of mine who was here, day before yesterday, and she was just having one of those days where everything she touched was breaking, like quite literally. She walked by the candles that are in my hallway and she knocked one over and it broke, and then she was in the kitchen and she hit something and it broke, and she had already broken a couple things, and she was like, the universe is just telling me I need to go home. I need to go home and go to bed and like not interact with the rest of the world. And she messaged me last night and she was like, I have not started this year out on a very good foot. She said, I just wanted to let you know that my car I just rear-ended somebody. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she was like, yeah, this year is just not starting out very good. And I was like, you need a redo. We're only 5 days in. You need a reboot. Can you like go back to bed and start over again? That is not a good way to start the day. Fortunately, she's fine. Her car, not so much. She was fine, but it's like when you start your new year out like that, that does not make you feel good. So I hope that her luck changes and turns around. And I hope that if you have tried to participate in the world here in 2024, if you're having the same kind of bad luck, I hope it turns around for you really, really quickly, because I have a feeling 2024 is going to be a good year. I do. I have high hopes. And I think it's just all, it's mental. It's mental. So, all right. If you're feeling down today, I hope I can bring you back around again. Hopefully I can put a smile on your face, because it is my favorite day of the year. Of the week. It is Feel Good Friday. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with my Feel Good Friday show, this is where we focus on fun and easy instant gratification jewelry, things that you can very easily recreate. And I make that super easy for you by putting everything in the show in a kit. And you can grab those kits over in my Etsy shop, whether you are on Facebook or YouTube. My team is here in the chat dropping links to all of those kits so that you can very easily find those. Easy peasy, right? And just to mention our Feel Good Friday show, though I know I already said we focus on fun and easy instant gratification, I do want to remind everybody that our Friday shows focus very heavily on simple techniques. We don't get bogged down with techniques here. I want to send you into the weekend feeling inspired and feeling good. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And so we focus on the very, very simplest of techniques, meaning we focus on simple loops, wrapped loops, simple stringing, simple knots, and things like that. We don't do very hard things on Fridays. I don't want to. Beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every single skill or technique that you have ever learned. And that is what Feel Good Fridays are all about. So, all right, let's see. Is there any other housekeeping that I need to get to? I don't think so. Next week is going to be a regular week for all of us. Don't forget to set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern time today for my Art Beads show. That is, we're talking about finishing techniques. So if you struggle with crimping or finishing techniques for your designs, you want to head on over. Even if you don't struggle with those things, head on over, because your support means absolutely everything to me. So come on over, set your reminders. You can click on that link and save it for later if you want to. But definitely want to come over to Art Beads and hang out, because those shows are always a lot of fun. And I would love for you to join me if you would like to. All right. Okay, so let's get right into it. It is Feel Good Friday, and we always start our Feel Good Friday out with our maker mixes. Maker mixes are small batches of beauty goodness, things I don't have enough of to create an entire kit out of, but I do want to share the beauty goodness with you. So I put those together in little mixes. We are going to get started with that here in just a second. And then that is going to be shortly followed by a true do-it-yourself lineup. That is kits that I put together for you guys. I give you a little bit of inspiration, but none of the findings are included. That leaves it completely up to you, hence why they are called a true do-it-yourself. So let's see. We've got one maker mix. We've got 5 true do-it-yourselves. And then we've got 6 kits. We've got a lot to get started, or we've got a lot to do. So let's get started. I'm going to turn you around to the back camera. We're going to start out with that maker mix. Alrighty. So our maker mix. This one is our evening butterfly. And I know that it is winter. Winter just started, but if you need a little pick-me-up, this is a really beautiful one to get you feeling like spring is not that far away, because it's really not, guys. It's just a few weeks. It's all right. We're going to make it through this winter season together, right? But if you need a little pick-me-up, I've got you here with our maker mix. This one has a beautiful butterfly charm and then tons of check glass. There are drucks, there are check glass rounds, there are some little disc beads, and this is just a really beautiful one. It's got a little pop of green in it. Not anything too crazy though. This for the most part is just these beautiful honey and amber colors, little bits of yellow and some brown. This is a really good neutral palette that you can mix with other things. As you can see, I've mixed mine with green. You can take the green out and mix it with something else if you want to, but it's just a really beautiful little selection of check glass beads with that beautiful butterfly color palette. Kelly says, ooh, I like it. That's what I like to hear. If you like it, then that's good. That means that other people will like it as well. I love this color palette. I'm always kind of drawn to these colors because they work as really good neutrals that you can mix with other things. I don't necessarily see this as a yellow. You know what I mean? This is more to me of like a golden shadow color. Like I said, on the honey kind of, I don't know. It's not quite in your face yellow. I mean, there are obviously some pops of yellow, but yeah, you know. All right. Moving on to our true do-it-yourselves. Now, this is where things get a little fun. These true do-it-yourselves have been selling like crazy. So I'm going to keep doing them because I know that you guys like them, which I am very, very thankful for. So let me pull up my pictures here. I always have a little reminder of what I had going on in my head when I was putting these together. All right, so we've got our antique butterfly, a true do-it-yourself. Now remember, the true do-it-yourselves, there are 5 of these. They don't have any findings. That means that I can put them at a different price point for you guys, which I don't talk about a whole lot, but it does put it at a lower price point because none of the findings are included. I give you the inspiration, but quite honestly, you're the ones who get to come up with the creations, which makes them really a whole lot of fun. So this one focuses on our big filigree. It's not a filigree, it's brass. Our big brass butterfly. Now, I do want to point out that this butterfly has 3 holes. There is one at the top and 2 here on the bottom. So you've got a couple of extra places to hang some dangles. Now, if you don't like this hole at the top, you can always use a metal punch to punch some holes on the outer edges of the wings. You can even add extras down here on the bottom to hang extra dangles from if you wanted to. This is also a great piece for some patina paints. If you want to grab some patina paints and create a really personalized butterfly, that you can do. But what I was thinking, I've got some little lantern check glass beads and some drops here. So again, just giving you a little bit of inspiration. I was thinking of maybe stacking some of these beautiful rondelles up and maybe adding my little rose at the top. If you want, it would be helpful if you could see that, right? And then using some of our metallic chroma finish lantern beads to start out like a little beaded chain if you wanted to. Again, helpful if you could see that. I'm sorry, I keep moving things out of the screen here. So again, just some inspiration, because you can put this together however you want to, but I was seeing this in like little groups of 3. And then maybe using these little drops down here at the bottom. I would probably add some chain to these, but I was thinking doing these in 2 different lengths, maybe one with a single and then 2 on the other so that it hangs a little bit lower. But I honestly was kind of thinking, like, if you wanted to add some chain to kind of bring it down here to get it out of that little area with the butterfly wings, I think would be really pretty. But this is just kind of what I was thinking. Again, you do you, put this together however you want to. Cindy says you should paint the butterfly exactly. You can add those patina paints like I mentioned, would definitely really kind of make the butterfly pop a little bit. Even just running you know, one of those what are they, it's not a metal fine, it's like the little finishing blocks where you can hit it, the relief blocks where you can like really get high polish on the raised surfaces of this, would definitely take it to a whole nother level as well. But I think the patina paints on this would be awesome. So yep. Rub and buff. I like it. All right. So that was our first true do-it-yourself. Remember, these don't have any of the findings, and it is totally up to you to come up with what you want with them. I'm just giving you a little inspiration. Let's move on to another one of these. I have got this one. I'm really feeling this one. If you are struggling, listen, I don't like to harp on a whole lot of like mental things, and I try not to get too serious on us on Fridays, but listen, I know from personal experience, I have family members in my house who suffer from seasonal affective disorder, right? In the wintertime, it can be hard. Even if you don't suffer from it, wintertime is just kind of hard, right? So it's always nice to have a little pick-me-up with your jewelry, right? If you make some sunny, happy pieces, it definitely kind of helps to bring up your mood. So that's what I was feeling with these true do-it-yourselves. This week, I was like, you know, just need a little pop of springtime. So I have this really cute one that's got this little daisy charm. We've got some checked glass flowers in here. Again, I was kind of picturing a Y necklace, but you could most definitely do a bracelet with these. The colors here are muted yellows, so they're not in your face yellow. I know yellow can be kind of scary to some people. That's why I wanted to kind of keep it to a muted tone here. But I was kind of picturing this little necklace here. There are 3 Swarovski bicones. Yes, I said the S word. I'm not, they can come after me if they want to. 3 little Swarovski bicones. You could add those like at the top of your dangles if you wanted to. You could put those in between your other beads. You can also change out your yellows for these little rice glass pearls if you wanted to, which would also be really pretty. Or you could hang these from the bottom of your dangles if you wanted to. I'm all about the dangles. So that's just kind of what I was thinking. But you could change any of these out if you wanted to. So this one is, I can't remember the name of this one. This one is our Daisy and Crystal True Do-It-Yourself. Again, just like a soft yellow palette here. A little sunny, a little happy to get you out of those winter blues, right? Put it together as a necklace, put it together as a bracelet, however you see this little mix put together. Super, super cute. All right. So, whoops. That made me snort. My gosh, that's embarrassing. Okay. I'm going to sit this one to the side. We're going to move on because, wow. All right. Moving on. So let's see. The next one up is our red and white. Now, this is one I absolutely love. It is never too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day jewelry. I'm already working on some of mine, and that's what I had in mind here with this little do-it-yourself, as well as some of the kits with the findings in today's show. So I have these beautiful little vintage filigree little drops, and I wanted to incorporate these into one of these do-it-yourselves. So everybody that gets one of these beautiful little connectors. There's a beautiful deep, deep red. And again, I was thinking why necklace, but you absolutely can do other things with this if you want to. This makes a really good bracelet connector as well. Okay. And then there are some white rondelles in here that you could come off of. And then you've got some glass pearls, because pearls are always a good idea. Always a good idea. You can't go wrong with pearls. You just can't. All right, so there are some glass pearls here. You could mix them up if you wanted to. Pop the pearls in between the rondelles. You could put the pearls coming down from the middle instead of the red. You could mix it up and put the white on the bottom and the red on the top. It's totally up to you. That's what makes these so cool. And I think part of the reason that they're so popular in the shop, don't sleep on these, because sometimes I only have a limited amount of these and they sell out pretty quickly. There are some leftovers in the shop from other Feel Good Friday shows where I had a lot of these, but for the most part, these are put together in limited quantities. So if you like them, go ahead and grab them, because there's no guarantee that by Monday of next week that they'll still be around. So just letting you know, I don't want to like try to push you too much, but I do want you to know that the true do-it-yourselves, they really kind of sell fast, which is a good problem for me, but maybe not a good problem for you if, you know, if you wait around too long, you put them in your cart and then forget about them. So just letting you know. All right, moving on. We've got two more to go through, and the other two, this one is probably one of my very, very favorites, just because of the colors. Look at the colors here. So this one is purple. This one is our purple sparkle, and it most definitely has a lot of sparkle going on. I love the little key. Now this one was also kind of Valentine's Day inspired, but not in a red and white kind of way. Purple can also be one of those love colors, but the cool thing about it is that when you use purple for your Valentine's Day jewelry, you can wear it all year. Not that you can't get away with wearing red and white all year, because you absolutely can, but you know, if red and white is not your thing, purple is definitely a good way to go. So we've got our little key here, and we've got, let's see. Brenda says she's not seeing the link. Somebody's dropping links here in Facebook, aren't they? Do we not have anybody dropping links in Facebook? I'm not seeing any Facebook links either. Huh. I'm kind of curious about that. Nicole, do we have somebody covering Facebook today? All right, so moving right along. I promise, guys, the all of the items in the show are in the shop. I know that doesn't really help, but they are all over in my shop. All right, so putting out my coin here. So now I'm not entirely sure how you would want to put this one together, because there's a lot of pieces. I'm missing one of my beads. There's a little bicone that is missing from this one, but I'm not sure where it went. So I was kind of thinking with this one, I'm still feeling like Y necklace with this, but you absolutely could do a 2-strand necklace if you wanted to with this one. So you could use your little cubes. This one has some really beautiful cubes. There is the shell-coated pearl on this one. There's the bicone. It was hiding. You could also pop your little bead caps on things if you wanted to. You could do another strand underneath or on top of. So I was thinking maybe like a chain layer. Again, because like this one doesn't have any of the findings included, but you most definitely can kind of envision, right? You could do another layer of chain. You could do all kinds of pretty things. Y necklaces are just kind of my favorite, but just to give you a little bit of inspiration with this one. Again, this is one that could very easily be turned into a bracelet if you wanted to. So you could use your charm, and then you could do just larger to smaller on your beads, right? And have this little charm at your clasp. You could pop the little bead caps onto one of those beads, and then just get smaller with your beads if you wanted to. You could add the bicone as a dangle. I love these little do-it-yourselves. They're so fun because there's so many different possibilities, right? So many different combinations. All right. So Now, I've got one more do-it-yourself for you, and then we are going to move on to the kits with all the findings. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. This one is our bracelet bar kit, and of course, you can put this together however you want to, but this one was built around the bracelet bar that has a little saying on it. Now, the sayings on these are going to vary, but they're all super cute. This one says, "Know in your heart, you are loved." There is some zebra jasper. So you've got 8 of these like matte finish jasper beads, right? And they're that gray pink. And then you've got a handful of pink check glass that you could put between them if you wanted to for those little pops of pink. Right? And you've got extras. You can put those on the end if you want to. And then you have these, which are a little bit bigger. You can use these as dangles either up here next to the front if you want to. And if you wanted to, you could also put these at the end with your clasp. I just thought this was really pretty. This is another soft palette with the gray and the pink. It's not overly in the top like red and white, but still kind of has that love feel to it with the pink and the gray. It's just a little softer, but that is your other, or your last rather, do it yourself little kits for the day. All right. So moving on to our regular kits. So I got a little thrown off with there not being any Facebook links today. I apologize for that, guys. I did not realize that no one was covering Facebook. So there's not any links coming through on Facebook. I apologize for that. All right, so we are going to move right along. We're going to start, guys, these kits in today's show that have all of the findings, these are all pretty much throwbacks. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a project that, it's a design that we use a lot. We did this one last week, but this one is different this week because it's in red and white for Valentine's Day and black. Ooh la la. I love it. So this is one of those favorite projects that you guys love where the button is the clasp. All right, so we are going to put together a combination here of our red and our white and our black. We've got some dangles going on, got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You guys know how we do. And we're going to use our little jump rings to make our own little chain. So let me set all of this to the side, get everything sorted so that we can get started here. All right, so this is a simple stringing project, and because of that, we are going to start out with just getting our bead stringing wire ready to go, and then we're going to start stringing up all of our beads here. All right, so we're going to take our bead stringing wire and we are going to thread on our crimp. Dragonflies Creations Custom Designs says, I need to practice using crimps. Come to the 4 p.m. Eastern Time show over on Art Beads today. I am doing a crimp 101. So if you struggle with crimps and you need a little practice, that's going to be the place to be. So set your reminders for that. If you can't make it, you can always watch it as a replay. All right, so going up through the wire guardian and then coming back down through the wire guardian. Oops. Okay. All right. You want to be sure that your wires are not crisscrossing inside that crimp. That is your number one thing about crimping. Is you always want your wires, even though they're in this little tiny bead, to not be crossing each other. right? So they need to be running parallel in there. You're going to place that into the back notch of your crimper tool. You're going to give that a squeeze, and I will break this down even more at 4 p.m. Eastern time today. You're going to turn that sideways, put it into the front notch of the crimper tool, and give that a squeeze. And then you are going to come in with your cutter and trim off the excess. All right. Okay. All right. So now we are going to start stringing, and you can put these together in whatever manner you want to, but I'm going to show you the pattern that I used for this. So I put on one of the little metal beads. This has so many pretty beads in it. You could really kind of put this together in whatever order you wanted to. So we've got our metal beads, got a little glass druck, a check glass struck here in black. We're going to do a bicone, these sassy red bicones. I love a red bead. I really, really do, specifically crystals. All right, then we've got a little teardrop shaped metal bead going on. Drop that down. We're going to use one of our coin beads. These are agate coins, by the way. Okay, we're going to do another bicone. All right, and then we're going to do a bead cap and a rondelle. Okay, and then another bead cap. And then I'm going to move my hands out of the way so that you can see. All right, so this is what we've got so far. And like I said, there's so many beads in this little kit that you could put these together in whatever order you want to. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do a larger bicone. Absolutely, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I think Susie is here posting links. I'm just not seeing them. I'm not sure why. I'm not entirely sure why. And then we've got these metal heart beads, which I'm absolutely in love with. How cute are those? And then our larger one of our black agate coins. And then I'm just going to repeat that pattern. So that's going to be the middle of this little stringing section here. All right, so our little coin, or our, well, it is a metal coin bead with our hearts on it, my larger bicone. And then again with the bead cap, the rondelle, and another bead cap. Okay. Another bicone. Then we're going to do the last of the small agate, our metal bead, our bicone, our druck, and our little metal beads. So this is the pattern that I use. It just kind of breaks up those agate beads because one of them is larger than the other two, and I wanted to keep it in the middle. However, you can put this together in a lot of different ways. This color palette is so pretty, it's not going to matter what order you put these in. It's going to be beautiful no matter what. All right, we're going to crimp the other end here. So I'm going to thread on my crimp and my wire guardian. Down through the wire guardian and then back down through my crimp. And then I'm going to pull out all the slack here. And if you want to go through another bead, you can. I don't always do that. It does kind of help to kind of set your wire guardian so that it's not sitting off center. I don't go through a bunch of beads because you don't really need to for any kind of like reinforcements. But it does help with the way that your crimp is going to sit and your wire guardian is going to sit. So again, you just want to be sure that you twist it around the right direction, double check, make sure your wires are not crisscrossing there. And then you're going to place that crimp bead into the back notch of your crimper tool, give that a squeeze. Then you're going to turn sideways, place that into the front notch and give that a squeeze. And then use your cutter tool to trim off the excess. All right, now the rest of the assemblage here, putting the rest of this together, is going to be with our little jump rings here. Now, we did this the same thing last week with our, was it last week? It wasn't last week. It was the week before last. The last time we were together for our Feel Good Friday show, where we made our little chain out of our jump rings. That is exactly what we're going to do here. So I'm going to use my large jump ring here, and I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to thread it to one of my wire guardians, and then I'm going to twist that closed. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to twist that one closed yet. Let's use this one to thread on instead of opening and closing the smaller jump rings. I'm going to do 2 small jump rings. They're just a little bit smaller, not by much. When I say small, I just mean in comparison to the first one there. So there's 2 of those. Okay. Now we're going to thread on another large jump ring. So you can see we're putting together this cute little chain. Now I've got a dangle here ready to go. And I have one more. I want to go ahead and do this dangle, and we'll thread this one on before we close this jump ring up. So I'm using some bicones on head pins, right? You have 2 extra bicones. You can use these for dangles, or if you need to add them as length to your bracelet, you can incorporate them in the stringing section of this as well. All right, so grab, bend the wire over the top of the pliers. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we are going to wire wrap. All right, we're going to come in with our cutter tool. We're going to trim off the excess. You just want to be careful that you don't accidentally cut the edge of your bicone. Just be careful. All right, I'm going to give that a squeeze. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and thread that on. So I've got these 2 little dangles, and then I'm going to do 2 more of the smaller jump rings. I'm going to close this back. All right, and then our last jump ring here. Oh, thank you, Mary, for using our super stickers. I appreciate you so, so much. Our last big jump ring here, I'm going to thread on our heart charm. And then I'm going to attach that to those and close that back. All right, so we've got one side of our bracelet done. Now we're ready to attach our clasp, which you guys know, since I told you at the beginning, is our button. We're going to use a jump ring to attach to our button, and then we're going to use our leather cord here to create our little loop to attach our button to. So I'm going to use the smallest jump ring in the kit here, attach that. Close that back. All right. Now I'm going to use my leather. I'm going to come back over here to this large jump ring on this side. So we've got our button on one side and we've got our chain on the other side. I'm going to use this last link in our little jump ring chain that we've made. Take my leather, bring my ends together to find the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to tie an overhanded knot. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to come down. I want to be sure that I have enough room to clear my button, right? So I'm going to lay my button next to it, kind of eyeball it, put my finger here, and then I'm going to tie my next overhanded knot down here so that I've got enough room for my button, but not too much room, because you don't want it to be so big that your button could slip out and your bracelet comes off. All right. Oh gosh, whoops. I'm going to cut it off anyway, so I guess that worked, but then we're going to trim off. Okay. And you've got your little clasp for your bracelets. You're going to slide that in. And there you go. So cute. So cute. Now, this style, like I said, you guys love this style. The button clasps are always a hit. This style sells out pretty quickly, no matter what the configuration is of the beads. But if you're looking to get a jump start on your Valentine jewelry, this is a really nice little design with your black, white, and red. I would definitely wear this all year because this black, white, and red is my favorite. You know, those are my favorite colors. All together, at least. The red is my favorite color, but when you put it with black and white, it just makes me super, super happy. So beautiful little bracelet design. Now, if you're looking for a pair of earrings to make a little set out of this, I'm going to show you a cute and easy little pair of earrings. So I'm just going to sit this to the side for just a second because the earrings go with this. Now, this is a totally separate kit, but they're so cute together. Look at these sassy little earrings. Love those, right? So if you wanted to make a set, you could grab both kits. Also, if you don't like a really long earring, you can leave out the connector bar here, but I thought these were so pretty. I'm really loving this kind of elongated style of earring. It's really, really on trend at the moment, and I'm here for it. So let's put these together real quick. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to take our little eye pin and we're going to open up the eye on the eye pin and we're going to thread that on to our heart. And then we're going to close that back. Okay, then we're going to take our bicone and then we're going to do a simple loop. Now, I want to point out here, the loop that is attaching our bicone to our heart is facing towards us, right? The open part of that loop is facing towards us. The one here at the top, because of the loops on our connector bar that are facing towards us, we want this loop to face away from us. So keep that in mind when you go to put these together. So I'm going to bend the wire. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off, leaving myself only about 1/4 of an inch of wire. I'm going to use my round nose pliers to grab that wire, and we're going to roll back to create our loop. Now, very gently, that same loop that I just closed, I'm going to twist to open, and I'm going to thread on our connector. Would help if I opened it just a little bit more. Okay, we're going to thread on our connector, and then we're going to twist to close. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to add our ear wire to the top of this, and these are done. They're simple, but they're beautiful. They're trendy at the moment, that style, and they match our bracelet, which makes me extra happy. So you want a cute little set for Valentine's Day, or if you want to give your Galentine gal pal something for Valentine's Day, this is the cutest little set. It really is super cute. Individually, they're fantastic as well. I mean, you know, whichever one makes you happy or both. They're so cute. Love this. All right. So I'm going to sit these over to the side. We are not stopping. I've got some more throwbacks for you all, but before we get to the throwbacks, I've got 2 more pairs of earrings for you. So let's do the earrings, get those cutie patooties taken care of, and then we'll do 2 throwback necklaces that they go together pretty quickly as well. All right, so these are a sassy little pair of earrings that I'm feeling. I really love these. These have this dark gray kind of hematite gunmetal color to them. Again, another really simple pair of earrings that are super easy to wear. You just throw these on, but you can dress these up or dress these down, right? Throw these on with your blue jeans, or you can wear these with your little black dress if you're feeling a little rock and roll. These are so cute and just kind of something different for us. We've never put together a pair of earrings like this before, so really loving these. All right, so now I am going to show you how to do that. So we're going to take one of our jump rings here. All right, we're going to twist to open. You want to open that one up nice and wide so that you can thread on your check glass drop. Okay, and then we're going to put one of our metal beads on either side of that drop. All right, then I'm going to close that back. Make sure you get a really good closure on that. That is super important with this pair of earrings. You want to be sure that your jump rings are closed as seamless as possible. Okay, so you want to get those closed. And then we are going to use a small jump ring. Twist. We're going to hook that to the jump ring that we just closed. Okay. And then we are going to close that one back. Now you could go ahead and attach your other jump ring if you wanted to, but you're going to still have to open the next jump ring regardless. So if you want to go ahead and close that one, you can. We're going to open up another large jump ring here, and we are going to attach it to the little jump ring. That's going to make both of our large jump rings face towards us, right? The smaller jump ring is our transitional jump ring. All right, then we are going to do 2 more of the metal beads, and we want to be sure that there's one on each side of that small jump ring. So you may have to alternate how you're holding to do so, right? And then right before I close this, I'm going to add an ear wire. I'm sorry, not an ear wire, an eye pin to that. And then I'm going to close that back. Again, make sure you get a really good closure on that because you don't want that eye pin to slip out on you, okay? Because it's kind of thin. All right, now we are going to take 2 glass pearls here, and we're going to thread those down right on top, and we're going to do a wrapped loop and add our ear wire. These are super easy too. Earrings are always pretty easy unless we're making like big, components out of wire, which we don't normally do here on Fridays. But now we're going to do a wrapped loop. So I'm going to grab that wire right where it is exiting the bead, bend the wire over the top of the pliers. We're coming in with the round nose pliers going up and over. Hey, Kathy. Bring the wire around. And then we are going to wire wrap in that space. And we are going to use our cutter tool to trim off the excess. Okay, and if you need to tuck your end, just use your pliers. And then last but not least, we're going to add our ear wires. All right, we're going to twist. And those are done. These are super, super cute. And if you need to adjust these, you can leave out one of the layers, or you can leave out the beads on the top. Like, you can make these to suit you. I know some people don't like long earrings, but love the styles that we put together here on Feel Good Fridays. Guys, please feel free to alter these however you want to suit your own style. Once you get the kit home, it's yours to do with whatever you want to. You don't even have to use these beads in earrings. You can use them for something else if you want to, or you can put these together in a completely different way, add beads of your own to them if you want to. It's up to you. I just put the kit together as the starting point. And listen, sometimes people ask me about the kits. Once I put the kit together, can I sell it? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You own it. You put it together. You're the one who did the hard part. I just showed you what you could do with it. Once you put this kit together, if you want to put this on your website, you want to put it in your Etsy shop, you want to put it in your craft booth, you don't have to have my permission to do that. I'm not one of those designers that says you absolutely have to give me credit. If you can give me credit, that's wonderful. But I know that sometimes when it comes to selling at craft booths, that's not possible. And that's okay. If you put it on a website and you've got the room to give me credit, awesome. But listen, it belongs to you. All right, gonna set these to the side. I've got another pair of earrings for you, and then we're gonna do 2 quick necklaces that we're gonna put together super fast, but are amazing. All right, so these are our little shooting star earrings. I love these. These give me New Year's feelings, right? I'm gonna be, you can just consider me the shooting star this year. I'm gonna make 2024 my year. And what better visual representation of that than a shooting star? And I hope that you feel that energy and use that energy for yourself as well, right? Little shooting stars, all of us aiming for something bigger and better in 2024. That's what we're going to do. So that's, I'm going to get off the soapbox. I can't help it. I'm going to put these together for you and hope that you love them as much as I do. So this is just a cute little pair of earrings with some little crystal dangles and chat glass stars. Who doesn't love those combos, right? Okay, so first things first, we're going to add our bicone to our little pieces of chain. You've got 4 pieces of chain in your kit, 2 different lengths. Okay, so you want 1 long and 1 short for each one of your earrings. And you're just going to wire wrap a bicone to each one of those. All right. Grab the wire, bend the wire over the top of the pliers, coming in with our round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. Now, before you do the wire wraps, take that off of the tool. Take the tail end of that wire and stick it through one of the links on the end of your chain pieces and just slip that little piece of chain into your loop. Then you're going to do your wire wraps. I like to hold with my bent chain nose pliers, but it's up to you. And then you're going to wire wrap in that space. Just like so. You're going to come in with your cutter tool, trim off the excess. Give that a little tuck. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to take a jump ring. We've got one little hematite color jump ring. So this is kind of like a hematite and an antique silver mix here. Open that up and we're going to thread on each one of our chain pieces with our bicone. So each chain piece gets a bicone on the end and each earring gets 2. Okay. So they hang at different levels. Okay. And then we're going to thread on an eye pin and we're going to close that jump ring. Okay. All right. Now we're going to thread on our check glass star. Drop that down and we're going to do a simple loop. So I'm going to bend the wire right where it is exiting the bead. Coming in with our cutter tool, trim off. Then we're going to use our round nose pliers. Roll back. All right, then I'm going to take that same loop that I just created and very gently twist. Now notice when I look at that from the front, I didn't pull that apart, right? I twisted it open. If you pull it apart instead of twisting, you're never going to get that round shape back when you go to close it back. So just be sure that you're twisting it sort of like a jump ring, right? Then I'm going to thread on another eye pin and I'm going to twist to close that back. It's just like walking it open and then walking it closed. And that's going to save the integrity of that nice round shape. Okay. Now I'm going to thread on a large bicone and 2 more small bicones. And if this is too long for you, you obviously can leave some of the bicones off. All right. And I'm going to do a simple loop here at the top to add my ear wire. All right. So I'm just going to bend the wire. I don't really need to trim anything off because there's only about 1/4 of an inch of wire left. So I'm going to use my round nose pliers to roll back to close up my loop and then add my ear wire. Love these. Love these so, so much. I hope that you love them as well. These are super cute. Twist to open that. And close that. Got yourself a cute little pair of shooting stars. Love those. Love, love, love. Little sparkle, a little sassy, a little rock star. All right, gonna set these to the side. Now, I've got 2, excuse me, I've got 2 quick necklace projects for you guys These are both super easy, and one of them is 100% a throwback. So we're going to do the throwback one first. Okay. And I know that you guys will remember this one because the first time we did it in creamy, like champagne neutrals and pearls. This time we're doing it in blue. All right. And pearls. So let me lay this one out for you. Because a lot of this I've already done in advance to save us some time. And once I lay this out, you're going to recognize it. If you've been with me for a while, you're going to recognize this one right off the bat because the version that we've done of it before sold out really fast. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to ring that bell twice. I hope that you guys will like this version of it just as much as you liked the first version. Blue is always popular, so we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed on this. But we create with our pearls, our glass pearls, our tube beads, and our rondelles. And you can see the rondelles have one side of them is this like metallic-y blue that matches the tube beads here. But we create this little bib like focal with creating varying lengths of these, right? To create this really pretty focal. We're going to do one longer in the middle. We'll do it together. The rest of these I've done ahead of time just to save time. These are all on eye pins with jump rings, right? We're going to do the one in the middle, but you can see how it creates this really beautiful little focal. So you can see we start on the outer edge. It's a tube, one pearl, and a rondelle. And then as we go in, we increase the pearl by one. So a tube, two pearls, and a rondelle. Tube, three pearls, rondelle. Tube, four pearls, rondelle. But when we do in the center, it's going to have 5 pearls. That's going to be the longest one. And then we go back up again. Okay, so we're going to take an eye or a head pin. And we are going to thread on one of our rondelles. And again, because this is the middle one, it's going to have the most amount of pearls. So we're going to thread on 5 of our glass pearls. Okay, and then we're going to put one of those beautiful blue tube beads on the top. And we're just going to do a simple loop. Okay, so we're going to grab the wire. We're going to give it a bend. We're going to come in with our cutter tool, trim off, leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch of wire, and then use your round nose pliers to roll back to create our loop. And then you're going to put a jump ring on the top of that. Arlene, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. It's always so good to see you too. All right, so jump ring and close that back. All right, so when you lay that in the middle, whoop, I'll just flip it off of the beading mat here with my pliers. You can see this is going to be our focal, which is really beautiful, really beautiful. It's just got a little bit of sparkle. You can't go wrong with pearls. This blue is one of those blues that kind of goes with everything. It's not too green. It's not, you know, it's not deep, dark cobalt. It's just a nice, lovely, soft blue, which is good for this time of year and also transitioning into spring when we get to that point. Okay. Don't forget to put the jump rings on the top. Okay. All right. Now we are going to string this onto exposed beading wire, and it is a 49 strand piece of silver colored bead stringing wire. Okay. So the necklace, you're going to see a lot of this, which is why I picked this beautiful color of beading wire. This is also a really strong, sturdy piece of 49 strand. So this is not for the faint of heart. It's going to keep that nice structure. You can see it's going to keep that drape no matter what we do to it. Fortunately, though, our beads are not super heavy, so we don't have to worry too much about it. But we are going to thread on our little section here of outer beads. So the outer beads, we're going to do a pearl, a tube bead, a pearl, another tube bead, a pearl, and one more tube bead. So the sides are going to have a total of 3 tube beads. You can go ahead and put your next pearl on. Okay, and no, I've not done anything to the ends of this yet. We're going to save that for the end. Okay, so that's the little section there. A pearl, a tube bead, a pearl, a tube bead, a pearl. Okay, so you've got 3 tube beads. All right, now you're going to thread on your jump rings. You're going to do 1 jump ring and 1 pearl, and you're going to make your way down your little beaded section here by alternating your pearls and your jump rings. Just making sure you're putting everything in the right order. It's helpful if you lay it all out first. Because yesterday I put this together and I didn't lay my focal out, and I was just picking them up, and when I put it together it was a big mess. It was not in the correct order at all, which still looked pretty, mind you. It just wasn't the same though. Okay. All right, so you're just going to put on your entire focal. And what you're going to notice is that these pearls are going to touch each other in between those jump rings. So the jump rings are not really sitting on the beading wire. They're sitting on top of the 2 pearls touching each other, right? Which is super important. All right. And then we're going to finish off the other side of this. Let's lay this out first, though, so you can see how pretty that looks. Is that not lovely? I love that. I think it's so, so pretty. It's just nice and soft. All right, so a tube bead. Oh, Kim says she just had an earthquake. Kim, I hope you're okay. Those are scary. Those are scary, particularly if you live in an area where they're not super common. When you have one, it's like, whoa. That can be very disturbing. She lives in California. All right, so there is our, whoops, kind of wiggle that one back to where it belongs there. One of my jump rings. It's wiggled its way, hold on, over to the wrong side of this pearl. Which is weird because I didn't think that the pearls would actually fit through the jump rings. It looks like this one was a little, this pearl was maybe just a touch smaller than the rest of those. I can't get it back over it. That's so funny. There we go. What is happening? All right, so there is our focal. Now, for the ends of this, I'm just going to use crimps and wire guardians. Now, again, that's because my beading wire is exposed. At this point, you can trim your necklace up to whatever length you want. You've got plenty of it, so if you want to make it shorter, just cut some of it off. If you want to make it longer, leave it as it is. You can always add an extension chain to it, but you're going to use your crimp, your wire guardian, right back down through your crimp and then back down, or I'm sorry, back through your wire guardian and then back down through your crimp. And if exposed beading wire is not your thing, I get it. You can always fill this up with more beads if you want to. All right, so same steps. Going to place that in the back notch, give that a squeeze, turn it sideways, put it into the front notch, give it another squeeze, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off the excess. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to add my hardware to it. Now this one's a little short your beading wire piece is going to be much longer than this one. This one I've used for a couple of other things, so I've trimmed some of the length off of it. This is just the sample. Right, same steps. Back notch, front notch, cutter tool. Right, and then all you're going to do is you're just going to add your hardware, which is your 2 jump rings and your clasp. You've got such a pretty little necklace here. Now the next necklace that we do is going to be pretty much exactly like this, but it's just beading. There's no focal. I mean, there is a focal, but there's no focal that involves head pins or dangles. It's just straightforward stringing some really beautiful things together. I'll show you here in just a second. All right, so I'm going to lay this one out. You can see how pretty that is. Again, just really soft, easy to wear. This is one that you can dress it up. You can dress it down. You can wear this one out with a dress, or you could just wear it with your blue jeans and maybe a V-neck or a scoop neck shirt, and it would be beautiful. It's not over the top sparkly. There is a little bit of sparkle here on your rondelles, and they do have that kind of metallic edge to them that's going to kind of move around on you. But it's not like crazy, crazy sparkly where you feel overdressed if you wear this one just day to day, right? Super, super pretty. All right, gonna send this one over here to the bead mat next to me, and we've got one more thing to put together. Now this one, if you do like sparkle, I got you covered with this one. So this one, 100% all about the sparkle, and this one is in gold. This gold bead stringing wire, this is another 49 strand bead stringing wire, is just stunning. It's the color of this bead stringing wire. This is, like I said, 49 strand from Beadalon. I don't even want to cover it up. Look how pretty that is. It's just an elegant gold color. It's not super yellow. It's not pink. It's just the right color of gold. So this one, again, is another exposed beading wire necklace. We are going to start out. Let's just go ahead and crimp on the end with this one. We might as well. We're going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. Right down through the wire guardian. And then down through the crimp. All right, and again, into your crimper tool, put that into the back notch. Give that a squeeze. Turn sideways, put that into the front notch and give that a squeeze. Hi, Dorothy says she's here getting all the knowledge. Dorothy, I hope that I give you all the knowledge. Be sure that you are setting your reminders for the Art Beads lives too, because like for today, we're talking about finishing techniques, and it's sure to be a knowledge filled show. At least I hope it is a knowledge filled show. All right, so I've got my hardware on my end. Now I've got this beautiful beading wire, and I'm going to thread on as follows. Now, I'll put these together on this wire however you want to, but I'm going to thread on my geometric, and it has that vitriol. You see the purple vitriol flash that's inside that one, right? And then it's got that kind of golden bronzy on the outside. All right, then I'm going to thread on 2 sparkly purple rondelles. Angie says, what's your favorite brand or type of bead stringing wire? Beadalon 49 strand is my go-to for most things. Beadalon bead stringing wire in general is my absolute favorite. There are some others out there in the world, but I am a Beadalon girl all day, every day. All right, I'm going to thread on one of my smaller rondelles, 2 more of my purple Okay, I'm going to do another of the smaller, and then I'm going to thread on one of these drops. These drops are also that beautiful vitriol. You can see they're kind of green on one side and they have that beautiful purpley vitriol. So pretty. Then I'm going to do another rondelle, and I'm going to do one of the small cubes also. Okay. H.C. Swain, what are you referencing? Okay. One of my large cubes. One of the smaller cubes. And I just want to show you, this is our center. That large cube is our center. So now I'm going to finish this off with the rest of these. This combination of this like kind of peacock purpley green with this gold beading wire is just absolutely stunning. Okay, another one of those. And then two more of the rondelle. Okay, one more of the small rondelle. And then two more purple. And then last but not least is our little geometric bead. Now listen, these again are the ones that can go together however you want to put them. They look beautiful no matter what pattern you use. They really, really do, because they all kind of go to, well, I mean, they don't kind of go together. They do go together. So if you wanted to incorporate the geometric ones somewhere inside here instead of on the ends, if you wanted to leave out the tiny rondelles, you can, or you can put all of the tiny rondelles on your outside edge and keep all of your larger crystals here in the center. Totally up to you. It's going to be beautiful no matter what. This combination of the purple and green, kind of peacocky with the gold beading wire is just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. All right, so then we're going to finish off our end and add our hardware to it, and then we're done. We are done. I'm going to run back through all of the fantastic kits that were in today's show, and then looks like there's a piece of bead string wire stuck in this one. Then I will let you guys go until 4 p.m. and I will see you guys at 4 p.m. over on artbeads.com for our fantastic Art Beads live show. Really looking forward to that one. We're talking about finishing techniques. We'll be talking about crimping, and we're going to be talking about some of the ways that you can finish leather. Not all of the ways, but just some, because, you know, there's only so many things you can fit into one show, but it should be a good one. All right, we're going to trim off the excess, and then we are going to add our hardware. So our jump ring on one end, and the other side is going to have our jump ring and our clasp. Vivian says she's curious about the hardwired group. Vivian, we are technically on our last day of open enrollment. If you would like to join, we open for enrollment once a month, which is usually at the end of the month, towards the beginning or to the beginning of the next month. We're usually open for about 7 to 10 days, give or take. And if you sweet talk Kathy, she always will let you in. But that is our paid Facebook group where our classes are a little bit harder. I stick with upper level beginner to intermediate style techniques, mostly wire, but we do a little bit of everything. This week we did some beautiful macrame. I can show you. This was our project this week over on Hardwired, where we did this beautiful macrame cup chain combination. But we mostly focus on wire, but like I said, I do throw in some other things. But we would absolutely love to have you. All you have to do is go over to the Facebook group and apply to be a member, answer the questions, and we can get you taken care of if you want to. You can sign up monthly or you can sign up quarterly, totally up to you. But it's a lot of fun. It's a smaller community, so there's a lot of one-on-one there. And we're always looking for new members. All right, I'm going to go back through all of these. So this is the one that we just put together. It is simple. It is sparkly. It is beautiful. You just can't go wrong there. And that gold exposed beading wire it's just stunning. It's just beautiful. So beautiful. So that is the one we just put together, right? All right. And then we put together this one, which was a throwback, a little bit shorter here. Listen, your beading wire is longer than this, so don't worry. It's not a choker, but this beautiful, that gorgeous focal. I love that blue. I'm really feeling that blue. So nice, right? So those are our two necklaces. And then we had our beautiful bracelet, which you can see a different angle here with that sassy red. We've got the hearts, the red and white, even the hearts on the metal bead on there as well. And then there was a matching pair of earrings, which you could make into a set if you wanted to, or just have them on their own. Again, just simple and beautiful. And then, woo, I just dropped that one into my shoe. It's funny. And then these a little rock and roll here with our hematite gunmetal colored gray drop earrings with those gorgeous check glass drops. And then last but not least were our shooting stars, which I think are just beautiful as well, with our check glass stars and our sparkly silver bicones. So pretty. All right, guys, that is it for me for our Feel Good Friday show. I hope that you have enjoyed today's show. Thank you so much for joining me and letting me be a part of your afternoon. If you've not had enough of me yet, set your reminder for 4 p.m. Eastern time and head on over to artbeads.com for my Art Beads Live at 4 p.m. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be focusing on finishing techniques for bead stringing wire, as well as some leather finishing techniques, not all of them. Hopefully it'll be a fun little series that we can work together through. All right. Don't forget the True Do-It-Yourself kits, as well as our Maker Mix that is in the shop as well. Thank you to everybody who makes purchases. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. If I don't see you later at 4, I will see you next week here at 1 p.m. on Tuesday for our regular scheduled programming at 1 p.m. on Tuesday afternoons. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.